Brandon Beane has finally added a top wideout to this Buffalo Bills team, and that is going to be wide receiver DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears. The Buffalo Bills just made this trade about 10 minutes ago, and we still do not know the compensation for this trade. But what we do know is that Brandon Beane has finally brought in a number one wide receiver for the first time since trading away Stephon Diggs back in 2024. Bills fans, if you're a fan of this move, let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe to this channel so you never miss another Buffalo Bills update. But let's get into the details of this DJ Moore trade. Obviously, we do not know the compensation yet. However, Ian Rappaport did mention in his first tweet, he said it is a mid-round pick that is going to be going back to the Chicago Bears. Is that a third-round pick? Is that a fourth-round pick? We do not know yet, but we can get more into this contract that DJ Moore does have. So take a look at his contract really quickly. It's a big one. DJ Moore over the next 4 seasons is owed $24.5 million per season. This year he has $23 million guaranteed, and as you guys see from in this tweet from SpotTrack, $15.5 million of his 2027 salary becomes fully guaranteed on March 13th. So we're gonna have him on the books for at least the next 2 seasons, which I'm not mad at. He is a top wide receiver. He's a boundary wide receiver, which the Buffalo Bills desperately needed, as they had Keon Coleman being the boundary number 1 receiver for basically all of last season, and he was obviously not it. And now Josh Allen will have DJ Moore at that position instead. However, let's say DJ Moore over these next 2 seasons, he's a disappointment, or we just don't have the salary cap to keep him around on this team. After the 2027 season, we can release him, save $24.5 million going into the 2028 offseason, and we don't have to deal with any dead cap hit from DJ Moore after 2028. So really, you could look at this as just a 2-year deal for DJ Moore, if that makes you feel better. However, maybe the Buffalo Bills and DJ Moore come up with a reworked contract to begin with, and maybe his cap hit isn't even that high for this next upcoming season. But what that does mean is that the Bills have a lot of work to do to get under the salary cap. We were already about $7 million over the cap, and now adding DJ Moore's contract and adding $24.5 million more, we're going to have to get under, we're going to have to save about $30 million in the cap. We can do that by restructuring the contract of Josh Allen, restructure Deion Dawkins. We already did Spencer Brown. We can release Curtis Samuel, Josh Palmer, Taylor Rapp, just to name a couple of guys. But let's get into the player that is DJ Moore, why he's such a big pickup for the Buffalo Bills. Before getting to that highlight right there, you guys see this tweet from Ian Rappaport. 2 of DJ Moore's highest productive years with Carolina were 2020 and 2021 with offensive coordinator Joe Brady, who's obviously now our head coach. So obviously DJ Moore and Joe Brady have worked together before. They had a lot of success together. As a matter of fact, DJ Moore in 2020 with Joe Brady as his offensive coordinator had 18.8 yards per reception, which is the highest over the course of his career, and that was with Joe Brady. So you absolutely love to see that. You know that Joe Brady knows how to use DJ Moore. Now next up, this Bears fan tweeted out, shout out to DJ Moore, one of the greatest plays in Bears history. And this is, of course, their overtime game winner over the Green Bay Packers in the NFL wildcard round, which obviously, or not in the wildcard round, but late in the season, DJ Moore making that huge contested catch to win the game for them. Now, obviously, in years past when we had Stephon Diggs as our wide receiver 1, he was known for being fantastic in the regular season, but in the playoffs, he consistently did not perform. Whereas DJ Moore, you guys see when the game's on the line in overtime, makes a huge catch, a 50-yard bomb in contested coverage to get a touchdown to win the game for the Chicago Bears. Let's dive in a little bit deeper into DJ Moore, the wide receiver. You guys will see right here at the bottom of your screen, we're going to have all of his stats from the course of his career. Now, last year, you will see that in 2025, it was probably the worst year stat-wise of his career. But the reason for that is because the Chicago Bears had Rome Odunze going into year 2. They added Luther Burden. They had Colson Loveland at tight end. They had a bunch more options. They did not need to rely on DJ Moore being their wide receiver 1. And one of the main reasons why DJ Moore was traded is because he did want to be that wide receiver 1 somewhere else. And Buffalo is going to give him that opportunity now. You guys see, as recent as 2023, he had a season with 96 receptions, 1,364 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He also had, I believe, 550 yards per reception, or yards after the catch, and he had 5.7 yards per reception and 2.31 yards per route run. And if you guys are not aware, about 2 yards per route run is where you get really good wide receivers. And just 2 years ago, his yards per route run was 2.31. So he had an absolutely insane season just a couple of years ago. And if you bring him in into Buffalo to be a deep threat, he can make that, he could have that same production in this offense. You guys see in 2021, 2022, or 2020 and 2021, under Joe Brady, over 1,100 yards in both seasons, only 4 touchdowns in both of those seasons. However, he still had a ton of yards, a ton of catches. You guys see in 2020, he only had 66 catches, and he had that 1,193 yards, leading to his yards per reception being so high. Now, you guys will also see that over the course of his career, in 2020 and 2021, and also 2023, his best productive seasons, those were the years where he played the most out wide. In 2023, his most recent dominant season, he played out wide 78% of the time, whereas last year, we had a little bit less production because of the fact that they had different receivers on that Bears team that Caleb Williams was able to target. His percentage of playing out wide dropped to around 65%, but under Joe Brady, you can expect that snap count to go back up to around 70 to 80% out wide. I do want to bring up, we just got a report from Albert Breer saying that the Bills had sniffed around on AJ Brown and Alec Pierce, so they were actively looking for veteran wide receiver help. They wound up with DJ Moore, who will be reunited with Joe Brady, his offensive coordinator in Carolina in 2020 and 2021. So the Bills were in the market for AJ Brown and Alec Pierce. However, they decided that they did not want to go after AJ Brown or Alec Pierce because of the price that they'd have to pay, maybe in a trade, because maybe that's why they opted for DJ Moore instead of AJ Brown. And also, the salary on DJ Moore is around $25 million, which would have been similar to what Alec Pierce would get. So it seems like the Bills just decided they would rather DJ Moore, getting him for around a 3rd or 4th round pick, as opposed to shelling out 4 years, $100 million for Alec Pierce, who had a great year last year, was pretty good the year before that, but isn't as proven of a wide receiver as DJ Moore is. And also, we got this tweet from SpotTrack saying Buffalo can process a full salary conversion on DJ Moore upon acquiring him, lowering his cap hit to $6.75 million in 2026, creating $17.7 million of space. Now, I can definitely see the Buffalo Bills and Brendan Beane doing this move to free up a bunch of cap space this season to make his cap hit significantly less. However, if they do this, then that would take away the ability to cut him in 2028 and have absolutely no dead cap hit. So I'm not fully sure if they'll do that. However, it is definitely a possibility that the Bills can go down now. But Bills fans, long story short, Brandon Beane has finally traded for a wide receiver 1 for Josh Allen, and he's finally signaling that they're going to be going all in on this upcoming season. Now, I still want the Bills to draft a wide receiver in the 1st round. I'm looking at Omar Cooper Jr. I'm looking at Casey Conception as 2 guys who can be that guy for the Buffalo Bills in the 1st round of the draft. Maybe they make a move for Jordan Tyson if he somehow falls. I don't know. But Bills fans, let me know your thoughts on the trade for DJ Moore in the comment section down below. And if you've made it this far into this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.